Thank you. Thank you for coming to my show and not going out and chasing that Pokemon thing, getting yourself killed, okay? Yeah, really, thank you. My name is Amy Snowden, and I'm from a whole other country. It's called Louisiana. And every year my mom calls me and she's like, you got to come home, Amy. You got to come home. You got to come home for your sister's graduation. And I'm like, how many more rehab graduations am I going to have? You're probably wondering how I got here. See, I'll tell you. See, when I was a kid, there was like this voice and it came into my head and it said, hey, Amy, you're so funny. You should go to the big city. You could probably get like a sitcom, be famous or something. I'm going to get back to that later, okay? But anyways, I'm from a really small town, and it's called Oakdale, Louisiana. And Oakdale was so small that people used to call my daddy and be like, hey there, Mark, your wife, she's at Walmart. Just to tell him. Thank you. And I never thought I belonged to my family, you know, because I was the tallest of my family. I always thought that maybe it was the mailman or something, because one time the mailman came over to our house, and he saw my mama getting out of the shower naked. And he went and told the whole town that he saw Janie Snowden naked. Because my parents, you know, they were like secret nudists or something. My daddy would always be like hanging out in these see-through boxers all the time, right? And my friends, they would come over, right? And he'd be like, Allison, Stacy, Heidi, no, y'all come on in. No, I'm not just hanging out here in these see-through boxers, right? I'd have to take him to the side. I'd be like, hey, Daddy, listen, you think you could tuck that thing away? I mean, we just got out of elementary school. Thank you. I like you guys already. You guys are awesome. And my daddy was always pissed off at us or my mama, you know. He was always angry, you know, but he never slacked in the providing department. Man, he'd be like, hey, Mama, what you want for supper? My mama would be like, well, Daddy, I think I want some squirrel brains. He'd go right out in that backyard with a BB gun and take one down, and my mama would whip up an egg batter. True story. But some nosy neighbor would always call the cops on us, right? They'd knock on our door. They'd be like, hey there, Mark, it's not squirrel season, you know? And my daddy'd be like, oh, you must have the wrong house. I mean, that wasn't us, right? Meanwhile, my mom would have a squirrel cooking on the pot and her brain hanging out of her mouth. But no, that wasn't us. And we had these neighbors, and their names were Mr. and Mrs. Seaman. And it didn't hit me until recently when I was telling my friend, he said, semen? Like semen that comes out of a man? I went, oh, yeah. And Miss Seaman, right? She had Alzheimer's or something. She'd always come over to our house, and she'd come to the window shaking with a cup. She'd be like, we don't have any running water. My daddy'd be like, oh, God, here comes Miss Seaman again, talking about they ain't got any running water. I have to take time out of my day and go over there and see if they got any water. My daddy'd go over there, he'd come back. Daddy, they got any water? Hell yeah, they got water. They got more water over there than we got over here. Matter of fact, I didn't want you kids anyway, so when you run up that phone or that water bill, guess where we're going to get our water? And the school was right by our house, right? We could hear the bell ringing from our school because I wouldn't get out of the bed for school in the morning because I didn't want to go there. Right? It'd be like, that's the bell. My daddy'd be like, late again, Amy. What are you going to do with your life, huh? I'm like, oh, Daddy, I'm going to go to Hollywood and I'm going to be famous. You know, I'm going to be in the movies and stuff like that. He'd get really mad. He'd slam down he said, son of a bitch. He'd slam his freezer down with his squirrel and duck and rabbit meat in it. And when I got into the 10th grade, my teacher was like, Amy, you know, I don't think school was for you. I think maybe you should go into some form of entertainment or something, like maybe like stand-up comedy or something, right? She said, I tell you what, you make me laugh every 6 weeks, I'll give you an A, okay? True story. All right, so meanwhile, I was making D's and F's and everything else, and my parents thought I was going to be some big accountant. Ooh, I love you guys. You guys are awesome, man. We were like a real popular family in my town, too. My daddy owned the Louisiana Denture Center. He made teeth for a living. He even made all the gold teeth for all the black kids in my school. And there was this black kid in my school, right? His name was Mac McCrae. He was way beyond his age. He had perfect clothes on. He'd see me at school. He he'd strut up to me and be like, hey, girl, Amy Snowden. Your daddy make gold, huh? Your daddy make gold, huh? He'd be like, y'all rich. But Amy, when you getting your gold, huh? When you getting your gold? Well, I didn't want him to think I was ungrateful or anything, so I'd be like, soon, I will get a gold, yeah, soon. And I always wanted the world to hear my voice, so I started writing poetry, and I won poetry contests. I'm like, oh shit, I'm a writer, okay. That's a start, right? Then I started writing rap songs, right? My first rap song, it went like this. All the fellas, what you like? Tight, kitty. All the ladies, what you got? Tight, kitty. It was jamming. Thank you. And I barely graduated high school, I got out of high school, right? And I wasn't, I love trouble, and I was like, man, it would be really fun to go to jail. I think that would be really fun. And I did. I went to jail. I got arrested. I got a charge of contributing to a minor, okay? I was 18 and my boyfriend was 16. And they pulled me over and they put me in handcuffs. They're like, you'll be spending 6 days and 6 nights in jail. And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay. Okay, that's funny. Okay, I laughed all the way there until they put me in that little bitty holding cell, those things, right? And I was like, oh shit, right? Because it was so small, And I could hear these guys down the hallway and they're like, hey, who are you? And I'm like, I'm Amy Snowden. They're like, we know your daddy. And I'm like, hey there, how do you get out of here? And they're like, you don't! So I was freaking out, because I couldn't breathe in there, and it was really small and stuff, so I was like, oh my God, I'm going to perform. There was a camera out there, it was my first performance ever, and I was like, hey, excuse me, somebody, I have asthma, I can't breathe in here, right? I didn't even have asthma, I was just like, right? And this black lady, she worked at the front, how those black ladies, how they roll their head around, right? Right, she come up to the cell, right? She stuck her head in the window, she was like, what the hell is your problem? And I was like, oh, ma'am, I can't breathe in here. I need my asthma pump. She's like, I'll tell you what, you go home tonight and you come back here in the morning, okay? It was like Mayberry, So I got out, right? And I thought all night, because I'm a thinker, I'll get to it, So I was like, oh, I know what I'll do. I called my neighbor up. He was like the doctor and the mayor of our town. And I said, hey, Dr. Moad, listen, it's Amy. Listen, I got arrested and I'm in jail and I can't breathe in there. Can you write me an excuse, please? And he's like, what? And I'm like, well, and then I think, well, he was kind of obligated. I mean, we let them bar ketchup and barbecue sauce our whole life, So I went out over there and without hesitation, he wrote me a note and it said, Amy Snowden cannot be locked in small places due to asthma, and then he put in quotations, including jail cells. And that black lady, she took one look at that note and she went, white people, But she had to award it. It was Dr. Moad. She had to award it, right? So anyway, I survived my jail time, and I got out of jail. My mom's like, oh, Amy, you got to do something with your life. I mean, if you're not going to go to college, what are you going to do? I'm so worried about you. And she said, I saw this class on TV. They teach this comedy class in Louisiana, and they also teach it in Hollywood. And I was like, oh, my God. I got all excited. I went straight down there to sign up for that class. I walked right up to that teacher. I didn't even say hello. I was just like, hey, excuse me, sir. I want to go to Hollywood. I heard that you have a ticket to Hollywood. I want to go to Hollywood. And he was like, whoa, you need to get out my personal space. You need to get out my space. And I was like, no. I got a guitar and I got these rap songs and they're really good. Just take me to Hollywood, please. And he was like, let me just teach you the setup punchline, okay? I still don't think I know what that setup punchline thing is to this day. So I took the class, right? And we had a little graduation. Every performer knows you got like a little graduation thing. And I did my show and I killed it. Killing in comedy means doing great, right? And he said, all right, I'll take you to Hollywood, right? And I was like, oh my God, right? So he hooked me up with this girl. She lived in Hollywood. She picked me up at the Century City Mall. I'll never forget it. She had this really weird accent. She's like, hello, do you like health food? And I said, yeah, I think I probably should go on a diet. And so she took me to this restaurant, and I walked up to the counter, and this one had a weird accent too. She said, may I take your order? And I was like, yes, I would like a Coke, please. And she said, no, I'm sorry, ma'am, we don't have Coke here. And I said, oh, no, you must have misunderstood me. I want myself a Coca-Cola. True story. And she said, no, we don't have Coca-Cola here. I said, okay, all right, you know what? All right, this is weird. Just give me an iced tea. I want an iced tea. She's like, what kind would you like? Earl Grey, passion fruit, cranberry, orange? I was like, no, I just want a sweet iced tea. Can we get one of those around here? Shit, that was the night that my innocence slowly started to rip away from my eyes. I found out that night that people don't eat meat. I didn't even know you had a choice not to eat meat. I didn't. So I was going all over town, and I was doing these open mic nights. You know, you sign up and you do these, you pay for a sandwich or whatever, you do your open mic, and you do a little 3 minutes or whatever. This comedian, he saw me. He goes, you know, you're really funny. You should go down to the Laugh Factory. You could probably get yourself a sitcom. And I was like, perfect. That is why I came here, to get myself a sitcom. But this other comedian, he heard him and he goes, no, sweetheart. They don't give out sitcoms and they don't give out showcases here in Hollywood. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm not listening to you. I listened to the first one, right? So I went down there to the Laugh Factory at 5 o'clock in the morning. I waited out there all day. You had to sign up. I waited out there all day. Had my little 3 minutes, right? And I went on stage and I killed it. And I was like, oh my God, right? So then you had to meet with the owner upstairs and he would sort of critique you. And I sat down in front of him and he's like, you star, I want to give you a showcase. And I was like, really? Okay. He had an accent too. They all had accents. So I went right back to Louisiana and I packed my bags. I told my mom, I'm moving to Hollywood. I'm getting a sitcom, I'm getting showcases, I'm moving to Hollywood, right? So I got back here and my friend, she said I could stay with her. I met her at the open mic thing, and at the Laugh Factory. She said, yeah, she called me Ames. She said, Ames, you could live with me and my husband and my kid. You could help me raise my kid. And I was like, I don't even like kids. I was like, all right. So I moved in with them, and she was really interesting, person. She was a lot older than me, and she would always tell me about her life. It's almost like she'd smoke the bong every day or something. She was real chill, And one day she took me to the beach and she's telling me about her life and stuff. And she said, well, Ames, I've been muff diving before. And I said, I'm sorry, what? I said, what's a muff? Is that like a mountain that you jump off of or something? And then one day we were driving around in her car, right? She's like, well, Ames, because I'm a Jew. And I said, a what? And she said, I'm a Jew. I'm a Jewish person. And I said, I think I read about them in my social studies book, but I thought they all died out in the 50s or something. Sorry, ma'am. So I was going all over town, right? And I was like doing really good. I was getting casting director cards, and I went to CBS and NBC and ABC to talk about my own show. She was like, oh my God, I'm going to make it overnight, right? And then my friend, she told me, she said, Ames, you might have to sleep with a couple producers in this town. It's just kind of how it works, And I did. I slept with a few dozen of them, and obviously I slept with all the wrong ones because I'm not famous. So I was getting. I think her and her husband, they were getting tired of me living there. I didn't have a job or anything. They were getting tired of me. So my friend told me about this bungalow house in Hollywood. Right? And so I went there and I got me a roommate. I moved into this bungalow house. And I immediately went out and got myself a job at a porno company. I wasn't doing porno. I was selling it over the phone. And I even had a script and everything. I had to call people up and I had to be like, hi, oh, wait, sir, I'm sorry, I just had an orgasm. But, you do like to watch adult videos, right? True story. True story. And my boss, he was so crazy, right? He was all hopped up on cocaine, right? He would jump around. He was this big, black, buffed up dude, and he was like, all right, Miss Snowden, with that southern accent, you were gonna sell some porno today. It's like he believed in me, And we had to watch porno all day, like 8 hours of it, all day on the TV. Every hour you had to pick one, And I was like, sir, come here. Why do we gotta watch that all day long? Because it was midgets and everything. And I was like, we gotta watch that all day long. And he was like, well, Miss Snowden, you gotta know what you're selling. And I was like, oh, yeah, he had a good point, All right. So me and my roommate, we started having some fights and stuff like that. And he couldn't buy his own toilet paper. Those roommates that can't buy their own toilet paper? Right, so I was like, so one of the bungalow houses became available. And I was like, okay, I think I'm old enough. I better go try to live on my own, right? And I was terrified. Aye. Okay. Well, it's stuck. Okay, there we go. Okay. That was me rapping, by the way. That was me rapping my song, Whitey Trash. So here I was in Hollywood, right? Okay. But this wasn't no bungalow house, This was like one room, as in everything was in the same damn room. And then it hit me. I now know why I spent that time in jail. I was being prepped for my Hollywood apartment I was getting ready to live in one day. All right, so I was like, well, okay, the porno business went out, they went out of business, and I totaled my car, and I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to pay for this piece of shit. So I took off walking, and I found this place, and it said Tony Roma's Ribs, and I thought, oh, that was perfect, because I'd grown up around ribs my whole life, I didn't care much for squirrel, but I loved me some barbecue ribs. You know what I mean? So with a couple lies, I got the job, right? In the first couple years, it was okay, I was doing okay. But I wasn't doing much of my comedy, and that was depressing me, right? One time I canceled a gig down at the Comedy Store. The producer called me up. He's like, you know what? You're wasting your talents. You know what you are, Amy? You're nothing but a waitress with a stand-up comedy hobby. And I was like, oh, right? Because it was true, Hit me right there. And then somebody offered me some pills, and I remembered I loved to get high because my parents gave them to us when we were kids like candy. But they made me feel like I was on cocaine, So I think they just wanted us to clean the house or something. I never went to that job sober again. Man, I'd be running through those aisles. I'd be hitting customers and stuff, and I'd be tripping over the table. I'd be like, can I take your order? Can I take your order? You know, because I was on speed, you know. Can I take your order? Can I take your order, right? And they'd be like, get your manager. Be like, no. Hey, are you mad at me? Are you mad at me? Hey, listen, I got an idea. Listen, you guys like dessert? Yeah. You guys want the skillet brownie? It's on me tonight. I got it. I just go rip it off from the kitchen. I just go steal it. Right? And I figured, you know what, since I was in Hollywood, I might as well self-destruct myself. So I started sleeping with as many people as I could possible. So many people. I don't even remember how many people I slept with. I know that's not something to be proud of, is it? But somehow I am. Somehow I am proud of that. I don't know why. One day I wanted to break my own record. I slept with 4 people in one day. I was exhausted. I was. And I know you're thinking like, oh God, she's like a whore or something. But just so you know, 2 of them were women. But I still secretly had that, desire inside my heart to become a successful, comedian. So I would go down to the Hollywood Improv and I would stalk this lady. She was an assistant to this huge manager, right? And so I made friends with her. And one day I told her, hey, can I give you my videotape? And she's like, yeah, right? So I was like, oh my God, this is my end, But, a couple weeks, months, years passed, and they didn't call. So I said, well, I guess I got to move on. About that time, my friend called me up. She said, hey, girl, do you want to make $20 off of your feet? And I said, what? And she said, I don't know either, but we're going to do it, right? So we went down to this dingy warehouse in Santa Fe. That's her over there. Santa Fe. We went to this dingy, this warehouse in Santa Fe and 5th, and it was called footnight.com, right? And it kind of went like this, right? It kind of was like this, right? So we went in the party, and we were sitting there, and I was really nervous. She was nervous. I was shaking my foot like this, right? This guy was staring at me, and he was staring at my feet. And he came over, and he goes, what size are your feet? And I said, oh, well, they're a size 8. And he's like, He said, may I get a foot session? And I said, yeah, but can my friend come with us? And he said, yeah, she can come, right? So we went to this dark room, and it was kind of like this. He got on the floor like this, right? And he was licking my toes. He was like, and he was rubbing hers at the same time. He was like, right? And I thought it was funny, so I started laughing, right? And he got mad. He was like, you're laughing at me. And I'm like, no, sir, no, not me, no. It just tickles, okay? Right? So it was easy, man. Man, that thing was over in 10 minutes. He paid me $20. He paid her $20. And then I told her, I said, bitch, you go your way and I'll go my way. Let's go make some money, right? And we did. We split up, And they had all kind of weird things at the party, right? They had this one guy, right? And I don't know if she remembers this one. And he'd sit you in a chair like this, right? And he'd slap the back of your feet and he'd be like, oh, baby, oh, yeah, oh, baby, oh, yeah. And he had a briefcase full of props, and he pulled it out and he slid it in between my toes. I'm like, I got gingivitis between my toes. Shit. And there was this other guy, right? And he would lay on the floor like this, and he'd be like a beetle, kind of like a beetle, right? And he'd be like, Amy. I went by my real name all the time. I didn't care. He'd be like, Amy, tell me you're smushing me like a bug. And I'm like, I'm smushing you like a bug. And there's this other guy, right? And I just got my toes done that day, right? I got diamonds lined up on them, right? Make them look real fancy and stuff like that. And he got down on the floor. I'm not going to get down there because my knees are hurting because I'm getting older. But he got down there and he was deep throating my foot. He was like, oh, I mean, he had it like all the way back in his throat, right? And all of a sudden, I heard this. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought I was going to have to do CPR on him, you know? I was like, holy shit, right? And all of a sudden he spit out one of my diamonds. I was like, whoa. I mean, they fuck up your pedicure here too, man. I mean, shit. Well, the problem was, you see, they only held these parties once a month, and I needed some more money. I wanted more pills, you know, I wanted to be high so I could forget all this stuff, right? So I went out and did the most logical thing I thought was possible. I went out and got me a sugar daddy. And he used to take me down to this dark, dingy hotel in Hollywood. And one day I'm down there and I'm real drunk. I was real drunk in all my stories, pretty much. Right, and my phone rang, and it was that manager, the one that I'd given that videotape to. He's like, hey there, Amy, you're really funny. So we met up, and he started making a sitcom for me. I was like, shit, here it is. I'm going to get my sitcom, you know. But then slowly, he started to pull out that casting couch thing, you know, and I figured it was worth sleeping on it for a sitcom, you know. And I walked off alone. That's where it gets sad, kind of, huh? No, it's good. So I remember I was pretty miserable of a person, you know. I was walking the streets. I was like, oh, I hate my life, right? And then I got a phone call to go audition for America's Got Talent. And I was like, oh, no, I wouldn't get that. I mean, I'm just a jerk. I mean, I don't even like myself. Why would I get that? But I got it. I got on the show, right? But they told me, oh, you see how this is crinkling up? See how I tried to make myself famous here and it's not working out? Anyway, so they told me I only had 90 seconds on the show. So my regular friends told me, okay, all right, this is what you're going to do, Amy. You're going to do your jokes because you know they work in comedy clubs. You get straight to the point, straight to those punchlines. Don't waste any time. My comedian friend was in my ear telling me, no. You got to do that song you sing with a guitar. You got to get to the point. Well, I listened to my comedian friend. Big mistake. David Hasselhoff was there. He said, so what are you going to do for us, Miss Snowden? I said, I'm going to sing a song dedicated to all the people that have done me in my lifetime. Got a laugh from that. I thought, okay, you know. Started singing, boo, boo. And I was like, what? They thought I was a singer. I know. It was awful, right? So I went home and I cried. I took a bunch of pills first. And then I cried. I cried for about 2 hours. And I passed out. And when I woke up, my friend called me and she was like, another friend. They all got the same voice, though. She was like, hey girl, do you want to play dead for $500? And I said, what? And she said, do you want to play dead for $500? I didn't even hear the dead part. I was like, yes, I do. She's like, okay, great. Okay, perfect. It's easy. I'm going to send you an itinerary. She sent me an email like I was going on an audition. It said 8 a.m. call time. Come to the LAX Hilton, take off all your clothes, get in the bed. I'll be there. I said, okay. Okay, because I'm a real committed person, you know. I said, okay, I'll do it. So as I'm driving there in the morning, I was real nervous, right? So I stopped at the store and I got me one of them 40 ounces in a bag, you know, the ones the homies drink. And I had a Valium in my purse. I was the best damn dead person you ever saw. Man, I was just laid out. And I got there, right? The guy opened the door, he let me in. I took off I did everything, I did my instructions, I got in the bed, my friend was laying there. The guy went to the bathroom. She goes, hey girl, hey Amy, you look really good. You look like you've been working out. And I said, bitch, I'm dead right now. So if you can save that compliment for later, because I might just break the character, okay? And a guy came out of the bathroom, right? And he put towels over our face, But I was already relaxed. I was like, oh, whatever. I don't care what this is. I don't know what this is. I don't care. So I was like laid out, right? And I was trying to mask the pain from the America's Got Talent, right? By playing dead. And he was walking around the room, he was sort of looking at us. He's spreading our legs, doing some weird, put some clothespins on my nipples and doing some weird. I was like, oh, shit, that hurt, but I couldn't react because I was dead, I couldn't react to that, but I was like, holy shit, I was dying inside, right? Right? And so then he picked me up. But see, I was dead, so I was just I didn't know where I was going. I was just kind of hanging like this, because I couldn't really be alive. So I was just like, okay, right? And he's just like kind of dragging me around the room like this, right? And then all of a sudden, right, I had my eyes closed, and then I opened my eyes, and then he put me like right here in her vagina, like right here. For like 20 minutes. Right? And I started to get a little nervous, but I knew I couldn't get nervous because I was dead. So I just started checking out her vagina. I just started looking at every crease and crevice and maybe like a pube she didn't shave or something like that. And I was scared to breathe, because she might feel it and then things might start to get weird, So finally my 20 minutes was over and they picked me up. I was like, oh shit, okay. All right. So the whole thing was over real quick, right? So I saw my friend in the lobby, right? And I said, oh my God, that was easy. We got our $500. But you know what? I got to tell you something. I was sitting in your vagina for like 20 minutes. And she was like, oh, well, how did it look? And I said, normal, I think. So as I was driving home, right, she called me. She's like, hey, Amy, I got another gig for you. Yeah, I got a guy. He's got a pie fetish. And I said, a what? And she said, a Marie Callender's pie fetish. She said, I know you need money, so I'm passing them on to you because I'm lactose intolerant. Right. So this guy came over to my house, right? He had a bag of pies. I couldn't see him, but I knew they were in there, And he was like really overweight and sweaty, and he was like, hey there. I heard a lot about you. You got any Vicodins? I said, yeah, matter of fact, I do got Vicodins. I got a bunch of those things. Let's both take them so we can forget this ever happened, All right, so he had me sit in a chair, right, like this. This time I had on clothes. I had on some lingerie this time, right? And my friend said, okay, all right, Amy, okay, here's what you got to do. Now, make sure that you react to him because that is what he wants. And I was like, oh, yeah, okay. I mean, how hard can that be, right? He's loading up the pies on my bed, right, putting all the shit in them, right, and all of a sudden the first one came at me. Man, came at me, man, that thing took the breath out of me. I was like, oh. And then some more started coming. I was like, right? I was like, oh my God. Then I started getting pissed off. I was like, oh my God, hold up, you sweat fatty fuck, shit. Oh my God, right? And they're like going over my head and shit, right? And I had like key lime pie going all down my face. That's my mom's favorite pie, by the way. I know she'd be proud of me, right? But anyways, I survived it, right? It was over. But then I was addicted. Oh my God, I was addicted. I was like, oh shit, this is pretty easy money, So I started try to find these gigs, more of them. So I went on Craigslist. I almost got killed by the Craigslist killer, but I didn't. I'm here for you tonight. I didn't get killed by him. Right, and I found this gig, and it said, looking for a girl to pee on me for $300. And I was like, oh, okay, but there's only one problem with that. I can't even pee in public. So how am I going to pee on a man at an abandoned storage unit down in Inglewood, I don't know. But I took the challenge anyway, you know? I said, oh, I know what I'll do, because I was always contemplating some ideas, you know. I said, oh, I know what I'll do. I'll drink a shitload of water. I'll drink so much water that I won't even be able to make it there. My bladder will be so full. You know, like the lady that died on the radio that drank all the water? You know that one? Okay, you guys don't know that one? Okay. So anyway, I drank so much water, I couldn't even make it there. Just like I said, I couldn't even make it there. I had to stop at the Arco station, went in the bathroom, and I peed my head off. Oh, my God. But then I thought, shit. My gig is to pee, so I got to buy more water. So I bought a big jug of water and I guzzled it down. Well, it worked, okay? So I got there, right, and I had to pee really, 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 really bad, like your real drunk pee, you know, that first one. Terrible, right? So the guy got on the floor, right, and I got down like this, right, but I was too nervous. It wouldn't come out. I was just like, oh, my God, oh, my God. And I was like, rivers, streams, and oceans. And then I was like, sir, have you ever been to Niagara Falls? And then all of a sudden some pee started to trickle out. Just a little, though. Not what he wanted. Yeah. I was pretty much ashamed of a gig, you know, but I got my money anyway, right? And then I said, excuse me, sir, do you have a bathroom? Because I got to pee. Oh, you know, true story, true story. You know, you just don't think too highly of humanity when people are paying you to pee on them. So I was getting tired of men, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll try a woman, you know, maybe I'll try to fall in love, you know, maybe I need to quit all this shit, you know, I'm ruining myself here, right? So I went out and I got me this bitch. And she was Asian, and she was crazy, and I like to call her a Crasian. I never knew what she was saying either. She talked that Vietnamese language. I never understood it, but I knew when she heard something shocking. She'd be on the phone with her sister. I'd hear, bump, 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 oh. I was like, yep, that's it. Right, and she took me over to her family's house, and I said, oh, my God. I said, your family, they're talking about me. They're talking about me. She's like, no, they're not. I'm like, yes, they are. They're like, my white girl. So she was crazy, you know. She tried to throw a chair at my head, and she tried to kill me. So I said, okay, I think maybe you might want to leave, okay? So but short before she left, she threw some noodles at me. She did. You know those Costco noodles, those big packs? You know they buy them in bulk, right? And she threw it down my driveway. She's like, you're going to need these. Oh, and I did, man. I ate every last one of them spicy son of a bitches. Because, you know Asians, they eat it spicy. You know what I mean? And then before she left, she said, you know what you are, Amy? You're not a comedian. You're not an actress. You know what you are? You're nothing but a Toho. And I said, oh, I like that. I like that. And I wrote the rap song called Toho, right? And it was the #1 foot video on YouTube. There's thousands of them, just so you know. All right, and it went like this. You want these toes? Oh, right? But it's my voice that makes it sound deeper, and it goes, you want these toes? And it goes... It all started back when my friend hit up Craigslist. She said, you want to make some money. But I got to warn you, there's a twist. Gonna go to this party where men like to worship your feet. They say they'll lick them up like a juicy piece of meat. A guy asked me for sex, but I said hell no. But there might be a chance that I could break you off some toe. Oh, you nasty toe, ho, ho, you got to go, you nasty, shit's jamming, you're a ho, ho, ho. Throw your toes in the air and wave them like you just don't care. Man, I thought for sure it was a hit, you know, I thought for sure. Man, but I didn't get enough hits overnight on YouTube. I didn't get enough hits, so I was like, oh, man, right? So I had to move on. Then I got into a contest. It was called John Lovett's Find Me a Comic Contest, right? And I placed the top 5 finalists. I was the only girl, and I was like, this is it. This is it. I'm on TV. I'm going to get it this time, right? But no, didn't get it that time either. And I remember walking the streets, right? And I was like, oh, my God. Fuck me. What was that voice that came to me when I was a kid? I know exactly who that was. Some ghost who worked for the Illuminati who secretly went around from city to city preying on little lost souls who someone once told them they could sing or dance or act. And now he takes a cut of all the headshots and acting classes and modeling classes and flyers and promotions and more headshots because you grew older in Hollywood. That's for all the actors out there. You feel me? No, but I remember walking the streets, and I was like, I don't even believe in God anymore. I don't even believe in God anymore. I'm over it. And then just randomly, my friend called me up one day. She had the same voice, too. She said, hey, girl. You see how they all got the same voice? Hey, girl. It was different people, though. Hey, girl, I got a gig for you down at the comedy store. God told me to call you. And I said, who? She said, God. And I said, oh, God. Okay, I'm listening. And I did. I got this gig at the comedy store 3 or 4 nights a week. Man, I was all the time performing. I became not only the comedian I was, but a great comedian. Then agents and managers started to approach me again, but I didn't want to sleep on that casting couch anymore. You know what I mean? And I hated my job at Tony Roma's. And I used to walk around there and I'd be like, all right, what are you going to do to get fired around here? Come on. Because I'd already been written up like 50, 60 times already. And then one day, my table, they didn't tip me, and I didn't like that. So I let them know. My boss said, Amy, you're really funny and stuff like that. I think your waitressing career ends here. I said, oh my God, sir, I did not even know waitressing was a career. I didn't know that. And I drove away from my job, and I was happy, but I was also real sad at my life. I hated my life, to be quite honest with you. And I thought, you know what am I going to do now? I don't have a job. I don't have any comedy. I don't know what I'm going to do. And I had just enough money in my purse to go buy a gun and blow my head off. No, I wasn't going to kill myself because I wanted to see how this fucked up story was going to play out. I love adventures. I do. I don't wait around, you know? And I'm so glad I didn't do that because I was about to fall in love for the first time in my life, and I was so in love, and I was so happy, you know. I wasn't desperate anymore for my career. I was like, okay, this feels good, you know. But then I got a call from Fox Television. They want to take me out of LA for a year, and I was like, oh my God, yes, okay, but wait, I'm in love, shit. All right, so I ended my relationship, and then I lost the show and my relationship. This is where stuff gets kind of serious. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done with Hollywood. And my friend, she lived in Orange County. So I called her up. I was like, girl, can I sleep on your couch, man? I cannot handle this Hollywood stuff anymore. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to stay 1 month. 1 month turned into 6 months, and 6 months turned into a long time. Anyway, I was terrified. Okay. Welcome to the secret lives of the OC. Things that you are about to hear can never be unheard. And things that I was about to see can never be unseen. I thought, well, you know, it's time that I live a normal life. I got to get a real job now. I always wanted to be a massage therapist. So I went and got myself a job at a massage parlor giving happy endings. But this wasn't any type of massage parlor. This was like this Japanese style Nuru massage. So you had to oil your body up, then go in a room for about an hour with a guy, and then give him a good jerk off at the end, right? I know you're judging me, but it's a shitload of money. I retired off that shit already. You know, just in case you're getting any ideas about falling into my footsteps or anything like that, let me tell you, your back is not made for it, and neither are your arms or hands. I got a serious case of the carpal tunnels. I did. I had to go see a chiropractor, and I went there, and he pressed my arm right there, and he said, "Oh yeah. Don't worry, I've seen your case before. You've been typing in an office for about 10 years, huh?" And I'm like, "Oh yes, sir. That's me." So one day I was in the room, right, with the guy, right? I was giving him the ending, right? And I was in the ending, and I was talking to him because I talked to all their heads off. No pun intended. And I was telling him about my life, you know, right? And he was like, "Oh my God, you're really, really funny." And I was like, you know, and I got all excited. He was like, "You should be a stand-up comedian." I was like, "Oh my God, I am a stand-up comedian." He was like, "Wow. You really made it big." I said, "I know, that's why I'm making it big right now." I can't stand up in these hills. But this place was on a whole other level, okay? We catered to any fetish that a guy had, and when she hired me, I told her I was an actress from Hollywood. So there was no getting out of anything. And she changed my name to Tiffany. She said Amy was too innocent. She had this real deep Korean voice, right? And she'd go, "Tiffany, room 5, he's got a makeup bag, ready, set, go." And I'm like, "Oh, wait. What do you want me to do with that?" We went, Tiffany, you're an actress from Hollywood, aren't you?" Yes, ma'am. "Then figure it out, Tiffany." All right, she'd tell the other girls, "Tiffany, famous actress from Hollywood. She got #1 foot video on YouTube." Some of the other girls wanted to be actresses too, right? She'd tell them, "What do you have? You have headshot? You have own show?" "No, she do. She's gonna rise up out of here. She's the only one." Okay, I added that earlier, but that did happen. I know my dress is all messed up. For the first time in my life, I felt like I was the top of my class. And there was this one day, right? And she's like, Tiffany, come here, Tiffany. We're busy. There's a guy in room 2. He's got some underwear on. He's got a weird fetish. Go." And I'm like, "Oh, no, wait. But I wanted her to think I was famous. I was an actress, you know." She was, Tiffany. I was like, okay. Right? I walked into the room, and the guy was laying there, right? He was laying there like this, right? And he looked at me, and he was like, Mommy. And I was like, I went right into the character, and I went, "Yes, son, yes." And it was like, "Does Mommy like money?" And I was like, "Oh, Mommy loves." Doing a strip show at least. Girl, I didn't know it was that bad. And he's like, "Mommy, it's $200 enough, right?" And I said, "I guess so, but next time you better mow our lawn." And then this weird thing happened. All of a sudden, he shot out all over himself. I was like, "Whoa, okay." But just when I thought things couldn't get any wilder, they were about to. I walked into the room. She didn't give me any synopsis anymore. She trusted me, you know? Walked into the room, right, and the guy was there. He was standing there just like this in a dress, just like this. And he was putting makeup on in the mirror, and I was like, "Holy shit." And I said, "Oh my God, okay, I know what I'll do. like, yes, yes. And then I pretended to crown him, and I'm like, and the winner is Mrs. Orange County. I put the little crown on, and he took a walk around the room like this. Right? Right? You better watch your husbands. And then he took a bow, right? Just like that. And oh my God, something weird happened. Shot out all over him. And I knew what I was doing, was like maybe inhumane or maybe a little disgusting, but I like to look at the bright side of things. For the first time in my life, I was a paid actor. It's hard to get that around here, I had some credits. So man, I thought I'd seen it. I thought I'd seen everything. Oh no. This one particular day, she's like, Tiffany, come here, Tiffany. I've got a guy in the room 5. He wants a white girl and a black girl. He wants a strap on in his ass. I said, what? Done that to a girl, haven't you, Tiffany? Come on, can you do it? I'm like, I can do anything. I wanted that money, So I walked into the room, right? And I was like, oh my God, the guy was older than my dad. And he was wearing lingerie. And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to need a minute. And I went to the corner. And I was like, dear God, I know that you're ashamed of me right now, and I'm really ashamed of me too. But you know that money's really good. You know this. So please be with me. Help me be rich. Just don't look at me. Okay, amen. Thank you. So I went in the room. I went back to the situation, right? So my friend already had him from the back. She was doing her thing from the back, and I was like, oh my God. Right? And I was like, okay, I'm going to have to improvise. What am I going to do here? Right? I had mine attached, and I was like, I got it. I went, okay. I said, put it in your throat. Suck on it like a woman does. I want to hear you gag on it. And he did it. He was like, and then I looked down at him, right, and his thing wasn't getting, hard, and I was like, and he wanted to be mean, wanted to be mean, and that's not really me, and I was like, hey, you gonna get hard or what? And that's when he said, oh, mistress, I'm 72 years old, I don't get hard anymore, and a real me kicked in, and I said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry about that, sir. Forgive me. And then I was like, I had to be mean, so I said, shut up! And then this odd thing happened again. He shot out all over. I was done. All right? Yeah. So one day, sorry about my dress. It's kind of like a stripper at this point. So one day I went to work, right? And my boss, he said, Tiffany, you look tired, Tiffany. And I was exhausted. And she said, I think your hand-jerking career is over. And I said, oh, okay, cool. Maybe this is too negative. Maybe I need to go. Maybe I should go visit my family, That might be an idea. Oh, no, that was a big mistake. I got there to visit my family in Louisiana. First day, everything was good. We were a family. We were normal. We were dysfunctional, but we were normal. Second day, my brother was on steroids, and he had that roid rage, and he came out of the bedroom, and he was like, okay, fuck you, Amy, fuck you, telling all my family members, right? Here comes my daddy out of the room with those same see-through boxers on. He was like, what's going on, right? And my brother's like, I'll shoot your head off, you old man, come on. My mom's in the middle talking about, I'll take the bullet, shoot me, come on.
sell them in the stores anymore, but I do buy them online, right? She's like, and my dad's like, and come on, and my brother's like, tell them what you do in California, Amy. Tell them what you do. She works at a massage parlor. My daddy's like, tell us now, Amy. Are you a prostitute? Tell us now. Break our hearts now. And I said, well, no, I'm not a prostitute, but I do give a helping hand. Yeah. So here comes my sister with the Bible, right? She's like, do you think Amy's gonna make it to heaven, Mama? My mom's like, I don't know, Emily. I mean, she is living out there in California with all those free fingers. She said, Amy, do you believe in God? I said, yes, I believe in God, and I'm spiritual. And she said, what does spiritual mean? She goes, I've never even heard you talk like that. So I was like, okay, you know what? I got to get on out of here. This is dysfunctional. I mean, we were really dysfunctional as kids. I mean, people used to call us Marky Mark, Junkie Janie, and the Fucked Up Bunch. They've taken it to another level at this point, So I'm on my way home, and I got left after 2 days. I'm on my way home. I get this text message from this unknown number, and it said, "You money-sucking, lesbian, prostituting whore." And I thought, wow, somebody knows me. It was my brother's wife. You don't like me. So anyways, I got back home and I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do for money? Because that money was good, So, okay, I know what I'll do. I'll start my own business. I'll go out and buy myself my own massage table. And I did. I went out and bought this one right here. This table right here. And I had all kind of customers. Oh yeah, all kind of. I didn't discriminate either as long as they were paying. I didn't discriminate. I even had a midget one day, right? He came over one day and he hobbled up on the table, right? He was kind of like, he was jumping up there and like this, right? And I had to push him. Push him on up there, right? And he got up there, right? And he had the nerve to tell me, "You're so tall, you're so tall." And I was to say, "You're so short, you're so short." I couldn't. He was a midget. So one day I woke up and like I said, it's not made for your back, One day I woke up and my back went out. I couldn't even lift up my back. I couldn't even get on the toilet. I was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? Oh God, maybe this really is over, Maybe God was trying to tell me something, It's like, okay. And then my friends were like, you know what? I got an idea for you. Your life is a reality show. That's what it is. So you might as well write that one-woman show that you've been saying for years you were going to do. And finally, I did that, and I want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day, night, whatever time zone we're in, and because I forget, and seeing me, because I think all the pain that I went through and all the suffering and everything was all worth it here tonight, and God blessed me with this wonderful show, which I surprised myself. This is a speech now at this point. It's just turning into a speech. But I'm just amazed by all the support, and thank you so much. And before I go, I want to sing the song that I sang on America's Got Talent, and it's dedicated to all the people that have dumped me in my lifetime, the agents and the managers and the producers and the men and the women and the children and everybody who dumped me, okay? Okay, so this was the song I sang on America's Got Talent, and you're going to know why I got booed. Okay, it went like this. To all the people who have dumped me, screw you, cause I'm gonna be famous on TV. Yeah, you know just who you are. Remember me, the one who said she'd be a star. I didn't even get to that part. Go find you a little slut and kiss my butt. you.